それは実践空手道とブーメランを組み合わせた全く新しい格闘技。
幻影
そしてこの若者の名は早く風雲剣の奥義を極めた男だ。今最強の死に挑む。Savage Rain.
So we're going to take a look at Savage Rain for the Neo Geo. It was originally released in the mid-1990s. It originally came out on the MVS, that's the arcade version of the Neo Geo, before moving on to the AES and eventually even on the CD. Now, the best way to sum up Savage Rain is, well, basically it's mediocrity at its best. Remember Street Fighter? The original Street Fighter? Yeah, I don't think so. No one remembers Street Fighter. But everyone in the world remembers Street Fighter 2. Well, the same sort of thing is valid or true with Savage Rain. No one remembers Savage Rain, but there are a heck of a lot of people who remember its sequel, Kazuna Encounter. We'll get on that later on in another review, but let's focus in on Savage Rain. So what basically makes it so mediocre? Well, a lot of different things, really. It uses the two-line battle system from Fatal Fury, but remember, this came out in 1995, and Fatal Fury came out in 1991. So by the time this game got released, that sort of battle system with the two lines there, where you go from one plane to the next, had already sort of stayed its welcome, or at least it had to me. It just wasn't that amazing. The other thing was the visuals. Had this game been released in 1992, maybe even 1993, I'd say it would be like extremely impressive. But by 1995, so many other games on the Neo Geo hardware were smoother, crisper, and just all around nicer looking. And while the sprites are nice and large, the scaling isn't as smooth as it should be, and you can also say the same for the animations. Now, I'm not sure how it's going to come out here on the video, but I found that characters frequently go from like one move to the next with like an obvious omission of frames. It feels like this was just like a low budget release. Now, the good thing is that it shares a similar button layout to Real Bout Fatal Fury. And what's good about that is it's really easy to pull off different moves, to jump from one plane to the next and things like that. And you've got 10 playable characters, and pretty much that's all she wrote. There's really not much more I can say about this game. It's alright. It's one of these type of games where if you can find it for one of your Neo Geo platforms, by all means go ahead and pick it up if you can get it for like relatively cheap. I got mine on the MVS with Kazuna Encounter, and it was like just a couple bucks extra, so why the hell not, right? But for anyone else who's like specifically going out there for a fighting game, there are so many other games out there that I would encourage you to check out on the Neo Geo as opposed to this one. It's not a horrible game by any means, but it's just not that original. It's just not that special. And especially when you play its sequel, Kazuna Encounter, you'll understand why. And we'll be tackling that one in the next review I cover. In the meantime, I encourage you to check out ProjectCoe.com for the full written review of this goofy weapon-based fighter. More Neo Geo coverage is coming your way soon.